Hello, viewers. My name is Happy. I'm one of the guys who will be running this YouTube channel. I'm so excited because eventually we get to do our first video. Today we've got Mr.
Rex Waev, yes sir.
Waev. All right. Yeah. So Mr. Waev, I know him from Exeter. Yeah, he does music. He studies law as well. So yeah, we're gonna have a conversation with him on a solution. A solution is created or was created to give young people a platform where they can share their successes, where they can give advice to other young people's etc. So yeah, let's get straight into it. How are you, man?
I'm blessed, bro.
How have you been?
Thank you, bro. I'm blessed. Thank you for putting me on the show. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Love it, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I just been chilling, vibing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
How's law going?
Law's all right, bro. I feel like it's one of those where it's like law has to be something that really passionate for it.
Right.
But law's pretty chill. So yeah.
What got you into studying law in the first place?
It's kind of crazy
because it's a hard thing, isn't it? It's a hard,
bro. It's kind of peak. I wouldn't even lie. So basically, I have a previous degree in criminology from a uni in Toronto.
Criminology.
Yeah. So it's one of those where I feel like deep down I always knew I kind of wanted to be one of those. I feel like the reason why I actually really like law is because as growing up, I hated mainstream media, the world, and all that shit. But I'm like, yo, what's the one way that I could actually go in there and be like, I can make a difference? You know what I mean? So I'm all right, a lawyer, because I feel like you could have the decisions to either defend people who you believe are innocent or who are taken by the law and they're understand. I feel like it's one of those where. Yeah, what do I want to say?
Fighting for people. Fighting
for people. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people don't have
being on the side of the people.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people really don't have a voice like that.
Absolutely.
And there's always people like that who are taking advantage. I want to be one of those who could actually help them.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, the only people who really control the world are the lawmakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always wanted to get a position where it's like, all right, cool. Even if I'm not one of those lawmakers, I know the laws. Yeah. So they can't really call me or swindle me out of anything. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in this world, people get taken advantage of all the time. You know what I mean?
Do you know the thing is honestly, if I had another chance, to go back to studying,
again,
doing it all over again, I think I would, I'd go for law, man. Because like you said, there are so many people, who are taken advantage of just because they don't know what the law is or how to fight for themselves and stuff. So especially in my country, you hear people being their properties are being taken and stuff somebody shows up and they're rich and stuff and they have to move them and and you know what I mean, build stuff on their land and stuff. So I feel like if I knew how to get involved and and that, I mean, I can still get involved.
No, never too old,
never too
late.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You could do some real good. For the people. So criminology, how does it how does it work? Law and criminology. I know they must be cousins, close cousins.
It's kind of crazy. So criminology means the study of the criminal mind.
All right.
You know what I mean? So technically, I feel like as a criminologist, you're studying the behaviorisms and the mannerisms of how people become criminals or how people commit crimes. Yeah. So you kind of it's like going backwards in time, because I feel like the law is basically there's a set of laws, and there's people who abide by them and people who break them. You know what I mean? And it's based on why do people break laws? My bad. Why do people break laws? How do they break laws? How do they even get in that mind frame of breaking laws? And I feel like criminology kind of teaches you that, but it also teaches you about people. It's like sociology. So I feel like it was kind of a great upbringing in a sense, or a background, because I feel like law is I'm in a technically graduate program in law. God willing, we'll be able to finish. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I feel like criminology is it's kind of different, because I always thought if I'm going to understand the law, why not understand the people who are committing it, or people who are brought up, because it also teaches you about families and how or there's sociology of family, how your family or how you grew up determines who you are when you become old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of changes
most of the time, at least most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. It's because it's let's say for example, I'm the middle child, so this is one of those. So sociology of families, it kind of taught me based on the middle child, I get different treatments, or I perceive life differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
everyone's kind of weird.
You know what I mean? Everyone kind of has that, and it's the same way with like criminals or people in the world. It's like the way you perceive the world is how you're going to interact with it. You know what I mean? So based on how you interact with society is like, or based on how you're taught to interact with society is how you future interact with society.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I believe that it would tie in, because I guess it helps me understand people more. And I feel like understanding people is essential because people create the laws, people break the laws, people abide by the laws. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it kind of just like brings it around like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So how does your family feel about it? Is there something that they helped you kind of like get into? I know you talked about your environment as you grow, shaping what you end up doing or becoming. Were they supportive in in your idea of studying criminology and law and whatever you're trying to get into?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. These guys are like, for example, so like my mom, my dad, my like family, everyone's super supportive because like they see it as like me being like helping the world, but at the same time, like I come from an African household. You know what I mean? So you either become a lawyer, doctor, engineer. Like, for example, bro, if I even tell you, so like my older sister's studying to become a doctor. And so is my younger sister. So it's like it's one of those. It's like I be on TikTok.
No, you're still in the line.
You know what I mean? I'm still in the line, so I gotta do me because like you ever see those TikToks where it's like, where you're tired, but then you're like, oh shit, I remember I'm in a secret competition with my siblings to see who's gonna be the most successful. I think that is a joke, but it's still kind of serious. You know, so it's like everyone's chasing that success, and I always knew like I want to be successful, so I'm gonna do something that can make me successesul. My parents, they always like. So they always wanted me to be successful, and that's why I really appreciate them, because like sometimes I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do shit. But then I hear my mom, and I see my mom, the way my mom's struggling, the way my family's struggling. I'm like, I gotta try. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. It's the same thing we were talking about before the cameras. Like if you don't, the only thing in life you can do is try to do your best. You know what I mean? So it's like as long as you try to do your best, at least things will sort of fall in place. It's like stepping stones. You know what I mean?
That's part of the the reason that we end up like struggling sometimes. You focus so much on what you think people want you to get into or what to do, or and you forget about you trying to find out what do you want to do, what do you love, what are you comfortable doing. I know people talk about comfort is not always like a a best place in terms of like driving you to achieve success and stuff. But seriously, I think once you find like something that you really love to do, it gives you comfort as well. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
But also you don't lose the the drive within you to like do it, give it the very best, man. But I mean, I'm glad that your family kind of put you in the direction that you also are comfortable with, you kind of found your purpose within it, you know what I mean, to help people and stuff. That's awesome, man.
Respects, bro.
So where are they from? Where are your parents from in Africa?
Oh, my parents are both Nigerian, like so I'm like full Nigerian, so West Coast.
West Coast,
green, like green. Yeah, bro. So super traditional.
You been there?
Yeah, since I was like 12. Like when I was like 12, but I'm trying to go back because like the motherland. I feel like you always got to go back to where like you come from or your people, because it helps understand you more.
Absolutely,
and like
gives you a different perspective.
Like you've been here before. Like your ancestors have been here before. So it's like the more you understand how they came here and things they knew and what brought them here and what got you there, I feel like that helps you grow. You know what I mean? Become the best person you could be in all like the timelines. Because
I mean, look, it's the same thing as being exposed to like different cultures. You might not have, for instance, left your country if you were born, for instance, in the UK, you might not have left it, but if you're exposed to like different cultures, it helps. Do you know what I mean? Like especially if you're doing whatever you're doing that gets you to work directly with people, different people, so you know how to deal with people just because you're exposed to different cultures.
100%.
So you don't really see life in the same
narrow-minded.
Absolutely, you've got a whole different perspective. So it's important, man.
No, trust me.
What's your clan? Tribe? Clan
tribe.
Is like very, very,
No, I'm Yoruba, so shout out my Yoruba demons. You know what I mean?
Yoruba, is that the north?
Oh no, we're like south near like the water. Yeah,
right.
we're like.
Is that where the oil is as well?
Yeah, bro. The oil's everywhere.
Come on, man. After the interview, we're getting some money from you. Good thing you came with a big bag over there. Getting some money, man.
I need that, bro. Trust me.
All right. Yeah, so, do you think you would get involved, like in Nigeria and whatever, like how do you think you
might? How do you think I get involved? I'm not gonna lie, Nigeria's kind of crazy, bare corruption, bare all that. But I feel like even that's why I love like talking with people who are like economists and accountants and all that. Because the best way to grow a country, to help a country, is like you fuel the economy. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be one of those where like, once I get to that point where I'm stable and successful in my life, I want to go back to Nigeria, build schools, build hospitals, build infrastructure, you know what I mean? Be able to do something, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like people always sleep on the fact that just because my parents were able to come out and birth me in Canada, you know what I mean, and gave me the opportunity, the only reason why other people aren't able to do that is because the infrastructure isn't there. You know what I mean? The education isn't really fully there. The jobs aren't fully there. So it's like, if I could even go back and add a piece of that or do something, I know like I've done something. You know what I mean? And that's always been a goal.
But you know, the thing is though, like, when I'm from Uganda, right? Yeah. East Coast, guys. Our problems, our challenges all across, at least the sub-Saharan Africa, are the same. So talk about, corruption, it's all the same. Talk about, lack of, infrastructure, it's all the same. So I'm thinking, and we get these challenges not because we're poor, the problem has always been, mishandling of, management of, resources and stuff. 100%. Corruption, people like, self-centeredness and stuff. Absolutely. So I'm thinking like, if anyone wants to help, I mean, private sector does a lot, you could, like you said, you could go set up, business, employ people, and give people opportunities and stuff, build schools and and do that stuff. But I think the most important, help somebody could offer to these countries is coming up with a solution, through which these countries could fix their civil service and stuff 100%, like that. You know what I mean? And make sure that civil servants aren't bro. Stealing. If you look at the money that they steal, bro.
So it's like probably 90%, bro. You know what I feel like it is really? I feel like it's the reason why people it's the same way, and that's why I kind of love criminology, because I understand why these guys are criminals. Because
what do you think?
I feel like it's one of those where the reason why people are stealing money is because there's a lack of it. You know what I mean? There's a lack of money. Like, for example, if you
you're saying the reason why people steal money is because it's
I feel like the reason why I say lack of it in a sense is because it's these guys aren't properly trained. You know what I mean? They're not properly getting paid. They're not properly getting paid. They're doing jobs and protecting people. All right, let's talk about the cops. It's kind of weird. You know why I say the infrastructure? Because it's you have to be the one to set up a proper, train them properly. You have to be the power. You have to fix the power, the power structure of the organization. And it starts from every single level. But how you do that first is that you go, it's like power and influence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's if I were to go back and I were to go, let's say I built, shout out to what Idris Elba is doing in Africa. You know what I mean? He's going and building a studio. You know what I mean? With that studio, you got to understand, he's putting millions of dollars into the country. With that gives you a voice. You know what I mean? That gives you power and influence. So him going and being yo, I want guards set up here. I want them to, none of these guys who are around there, they're not going to steal or do anything. You know what I mean? Because they know for a fact that what they're doing is important and they're growing. I feel like a lot of these guys even lack the purpose. You know what I mean? Because they're just they know the system is corrupt. Everyone knows the system is, it's like water. Everyone knows it's wet. You know what I mean? So for you to fix it, you have to be willing to try to change it in a way where it's you're building things that people can appreciate, that people learn to respect. It's the same way where this is super off topic, where I'd be on TikTok.
No, it's all right.
You know what I mean? But it's the same way where bands are yo, if your girl or your shorty doesn't respect you, she's not really going to want to be with you. Or she's going to take advantage or walk all over you. It's the same with people in the country. if you're not doing anything that helps benefit them or helps grow them, they're going to walk over you. Why do you think policemen steal? Because they know that politicians aren't doing anything to better them. And they're also stealing. You know what I mean? So if you're taking away from the opportunities for these people to steal and instead going and being like, I'm not even going to give, because some people try to be like, oh, I want to donate money and do that. Fuck the tax breaks, fuck all that shit, because I know that's what they be after. It's like, nah, I'm going to go there myself, walk on the land, build it, watch them building it, or hire someone that I can trust completely and build it and create that infrastructure. And that creates hope for people. And I feel like hope is one of the most important things, because all these guys who are stealing, they don't have any hope, bro. You know what I mean? And that's the realist. Like the reason why they're stealing and they're taking bribes is because they know that just living off the salary doesn't provide hope for them. It doesn't provide hope for their family and their family's future. Everyone wants to believe that they can create a better future. You know what I mean? And be a part of creating that better future. Everyone deep down, whether they want to admit it or not, everyone would like to see something, whatever, in their own perspective or own twisted viewpoint. But it's like, if you can give them that, then they'll be able to see it, be like, oh shit, I can't steal from this guy because I know he's doing something for us and I respect him. You know what I mean?
Do you think if a country made more money, whether through revenue or, you know, whatever it is, you know, they generated enough money, and then they start paying, you know, the civil servants, you know, more, you think they would stop stealing?
I feel like it'd be less. The reason why I say that is because it's like, for example, I'm going to talk about Nigeria. Like, let's not talk about the natural resources or anything that they export. What does Nigeria produce as a people? They don't really produce much. You know what I mean? And let's say
they produce oil, though.
Bro, we don't. Oil money, we know that's corrupt. We can't even talk about that because by the time it gets to the people, there's nothing. But I'm talking about, like, let's say we had even, it's like the whole point of the Industrial Revolution. It's like, let's say we went there and we built factories, or what I was doing, we're building movie studios where we're giving different people in different positions jobs. Those people are now, we're taking away from like the poverty driven, where now we're stabilizing the economy within itself, not any of its export, within its actual self, like its own, like growth as a country. And I feel like once you're able to like kind of solidify that on different levels, whether it's like, let's say we had construction workers coming in to fix the construction road. Let's say we hired and created better schools and hired better teachers. You know what I mean? And there's levels, and we educate the people, and we're giving different opportunities so they know when they come out of jail. When they come out of school, they're not. When they come out of school, they're not like searching for a job in the economy. They're like, oh, I know where I can apply for. I know what I can do. Instead of being like, I'm gonna just go into position. Because if you even take it in, like a lot of the cops or a lot of the people stealing, they didn't want to be those jobs. They just saw it was available and they needed money. And this is scarcity, you know what I mean? So once you create different opportunities for people, it creates less likelihood for them to be afraid of the future, which causes them to steal, which causes them to do all these corrupt things. But it's like, no, they're like, okay, no, I can't really steal because I know that who am I stealing from? I'm stealing from the people who are putting back into their country. But when you're not putting back into your country, that's when people feel that, all right, cool, I'm gonna just steal it because everyone else does it. You know what I mean? And it becomes normalized. We have to take it away from the normalizing the corruption. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel.
Do you think? Because you know, I've you know had a conversation with somebody before, and he told me, I think what we need to do is to get people from like different countries, like, you know, get people like African people from the UK, Canada, US, and stuff, and give them, you know, decision-making positions, put them in decision-making positions in Africa. I think his argument was that if you have like a more exposure, like, you know, you've experienced like, you know, other people's like, you know, a way of doing things and stuff. There's a way, like, you know, if you're put into or in your own, like, you know, stuff, like to run, you run it jealously. Like, you know, you want to compete with the countries, you know, that you've been.
Oh, you've been to, or you've been from.
To. Absolutely, yeah. So, for instance, if you're like an African child and you came to the UK and, you know, if somebody harassed you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know, was racist against you and stuff like that. I think, if you went to your own country, you'd be like, oh man, I went to the UK, maybe, you know, for education and stuff. But now I'm a minister of, you know, education in Uganda, for instance. I'm going to try to make sure that my child, you know, my neighbor's child doesn't really go through what I went through in the UK. So I'm going to give it my best to build, you know, better infrastructure, better, like, you know, facilities and stuff for children to make sure that, you know, they feel comfortable studying in this you know, country, not having to go to other countries. You know, so do you really think that's
like
that would work?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of both. The reason why I say it's a bit of both because like some people may not be completely receptive to it. I feel like it has to be like a 50-50, or at least like, let's say the people who are coming in, or let's say we went out to study elsewhere and they come back, those people have to be like a 1/3. The reason why I say 1/3 majority is, or 1/3 like minority in a sense where they still have power, is because of the fact that you got to understand, it's like you've left and now you see a different perspective. But for you to really grow the country, you have to look and appreciate the opinions of the people who never left.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because you have to see what they're really upset about. It's like, you know what I mean? Education is like what they want to see in their education, where it's like, I feel like it's both because now we have that perspective where it's like, I feel like some people don't ever leave their home because they're scared to see different things. And I feel like once you've seen different things and you're able to take out of that and then bring it back, it's very beneficial. But at the same time, you have to be a combination of both, where you take those thoughts and you also combine with the people who've never left and be like, yo, what do you think we need? What do you think we need based on what you've seen?
Being responsive to their own needs.
Their needs. And I feel like it's just a combination of both, because those are the best viewpoints. Because like, for example, like I was born in Canada. So like, if I go back to Nigeria, some people may not see me as fully Nigerian, but some people may also 100% be like, yo, you're Nigerian. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of both. And I'm the type of person where like, I'm a peaceful negotiator. I feel like the best way is like, we have to appreciate everyone's opinion.
Absolutely.
Because some people, when they try to do that, it makes the people who never left think that they're trying to be better than them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's, I believe that's even sometimes like a whole African mentality, or even just the people who are like jealous of seeing other people grow beyond what they have. It's like, you have to appreciate everyone's viewpoint and then try to build on that. Absolutely. And I feel like that's the best way to not butt heads. You know what I mean? And that's a really concern, because a lot of people do, like, for example, like I get it all the time, like Nigerians who like are born in Nigeria, raised in Nigeria, like they come to me like, you're Nigerian, but you're not fully Nigerian. It's like, but I'm Nigerian, but it's like same way. It's like, you don't know the mindsets that I have to bring to the Nigerian culture that could be beneficial that they're not even seeing because they're too stuck in their own ways. You know what I mean? So it's a combination of both. That's how I feel it.
No, because you're right. You're right. Because you know, think about it. Like, you know, most of the policies that you know come from, you know, abroad, in, you know, through say IMF and World Bank and stuff like that, to fight, you know, to eradicate poverty and stuff.
I don't even like any of those guys.
It ends up not working.
I don't like
ends up
any
not
of those,
working
because all these guys is corruption. Corruption. People think, and you know what pisses me off the most? People think corruption is just done by like black people or Africans and all that. Bro. Every single person in this world is corrupt.
They can be corrupt.
Every single government is corrupt.
Absolutely.
Like from every single point. Why? Because greed poisons men's soul. People see money and lose their minds. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of, I know.
I mean, human nature, bro. Like,
human nature.
Everyone wants to be good, to be better than, you know, the
next person. 100%, bro.
Absolutely, So, that's why, you know, earlier I told you, I think the most, you know, effective way to, like, you know, develop Africa or African countries or poor countries, you know, all around the world is, you know, to put in place a system that, you know, doesn't give space to, you know, corruption. 100%. Other than that, you cannot really, you know, depend on people's will, like, you know, people's, you know, goodwill, you know, exactly, not to be corrupt and stuff. People, 100%. Like you said earlier, like a police officer will engage in corruption, not because they really want to, but because of their circumstances.
Exactly. You know,
so if he wants to, you know, to educate his children, and, you know, he doesn't really have, you know, good money or feed his children, and he doesn't have good money, and if he you know, if he has to take his family to, like, you know, private hospitals, you know,
the cost,
because they're, you know, public hospitals, you know, aren't as good as private hospitals. They will definitely, you know, engage in corruption, you know, when the chance, you know, shows up.
100%.
So you definitely have to, like, put in place a system that, you know, hinders that, but also, you know, try to fix the real problem, you know, that forces people to do this kind of, absolutely. But I will tell you though, there are people who, you know, steal, public funds, not because they're poor, but because,
it's greed.
Absolutely. There's So like for instance, like ministers and stuff, like cabinet ministers and like top guys, they get good money, they get like all these goodies that come with with you holding a position and stuff, but they still steal. So
it's hard, bro. I feel like it's the same way. It's like we just have to keep making sure we're slowly creating and implementing better systems.
Absolutely.
Because the more systems are, it doesn't allow for all that corruption. You know what I mean? Like, let's say we have a business, like the business gets audited. You know what I mean? So you can't really steal it. Because they're gonna know.
They know,
You know what I mean? And I feel like we have to find better systems to hold people in power accountable. You know what I mean? And that's all part of our journey, because the same way that they're gonna let that happen, but we have to be the ones to be like, no, this is what we believe in. And even if it takes a few of us getting in this position, you know what I mean? And not losing sight of our goals.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Not losing sight.
Absolutely,
Trust me, bro.
Yeah. So let's talk about your experience here in Exeter, bro. Like, you love Exeter, don't you?
I'm not even gonna say anything bad. I feel like Exeter is crazy. Exeter is a bit of both. It's a flip of a coin. I feel like it took me a while. This is my first time like in the UK, in Europe. And like Exeter is not like London. It's not. It's not Manchester. It's not even Bristol. And it's not Brum. It's not any of these. The reason why I say that is because like Exeter is one of those. I'm gonna say this in a politically correct way, because that's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
No, just be as honest as you can be.
Bro, like I feel like Exeter,
no censorship. No censorship. No censorship.
No censorship. I feel like Exeter is like, it has its pros and its cons, because like, for example,
of course,
people like us. I'm talking black people. You know what I mean? That melanin. You know what I mean, bro? We're the minority here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And it comes from a point where we've seen different perspectives in life. It just comes with dealing with different people who, let's say, there's a lot of people who were fed with silver spoons. You know what I mean? I was fed with a nice spoon. So were we. That's how we got here. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like because we got here, we learned to appreciate it more. Some people who don't know how to appreciate what they have. Exeter's filled with a lot of those guys. You know what I mean? And those type of guys that don't really understand the sense of what it means to humanity and realize and being a person, just being an individual. I feel like they're too distracted by the materialistic gains of the world, and I feel like those make them the type of people where I wouldn't necessarily like and want to be around. And it's not to say that all of the other people that I have, you know what I mean? So it's a mix of both, and that's the only negative.
Would you blame them though?
Bro, it's a bit of both. It's like saying, it's like, bro, I've met some people who like they've never met or talked to a black person.
You
know what I mean? And that to me is crazy. Where it's like, I'm from Toronto. I'm from like one of the most multicultural places on earth. So I never seen that shit. So when people are like, bro, I know white people who are just like as much like they listen like it's crazy. So when coming here, I feel like that was just like a culture shock to me, and it's not necessarily their fault, because like, how do we blame them? It's like the same way.
You can't,
we can't blame them because they've never seen it. They never knew how to interact with it. You know what I mean? So that's up to us to even be the voices. And that's why it's kind of different, where it's like, I hate it, but I can't really hate it, because like I have an opportunity to be the better person.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that gives me an opportunity to like grow. But it's like, it's kind of hard when
that's
it's like,
how I see it all the time.
At first, I feel like it was just difficult for me to get used to and adjust. But now I've gotten to the point where it's like, I've accepted me. And you really have to be like in doubt with who you are. You really have to know who you are, especially when coming to different places, because then you don't want to get distracted. And I feel like I kind of messed me up first year, because I was like it's not that I was trying to blend in or become someone else. I was so used to seeing a perspective, and then I came here and I saw something different. I thought that's how it was.
I think there is a time.
You know what I mean?
There is a time when you have to like kind of try to what they call integrate.
Integrate.
Integrate, right? 100%. So we can be unique without being
losing ourselves.
Absolutely. So we can be unique, but but also be a part of something. So I think the people that are really kind of not get along with are the people, and this is not in Exeter. Only in Exeter.
Global,
Are the people who would I hate people who put other people down.
Bro.
Even if you were my friend, like,
100%,
and I
bro.
see you
100%.
doing something like, you're trying to put somebody down because,
bro, I call you out. I hate that shit.
Absolutely, So, if that's like, the kind of energy that I sensed, like, I won't give you time.
Bro. Yeah, I'll never talk to you again.
I try to stay away from you.
You know what I mean, bro? Trust me.
Because believe me, I can't teach you. I can't change you.
It's like, I feel like this thing is like, I feel like because we're good people, we always believe that, like, even if we can't change people, we try to educate people our best. And some people, like, they don't want to be educated.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta leave.
I mean, how can they be educated by somebody whom they probably look down on?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? If you despise somebody, you're not going to listen to them.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And that's the whole thing. I'm not. It's weird. I completely understand what you mean, and that's why the whole like materialistic values and all that. It's like people don't understand that, bro. Like I know. Like stupid rich people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna call them names.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? But the reason why I say that, is because like I know stupid rich people who are humble. Like you talk to them, bro, and you would never know you're rich. Absolutely. And bros got RRs.
Yeah. I'd love to be that kind of rich.
You know what I mean? And that kind of rich, where it's like, and no, but that's what I respect. It's like, and that's when I feel like. Until I met those type of people is when I started to look at life differently, because it's like, and it's just about how you were brought up and how you're raised. Because there's some people who have that wealth, and they automatically like create a scale or balance, and they look down on people who don't have it. When there's some people who have that wealth, and they don't even care. They don't judge by who you are. They look at your sense of humanity and the sense of who you are as a person. And that's what I mean, where it's like the people who don't, and the only reason why I dislike this place kind of is because there's a majority are the people who have the wealth, and they just look down on other people who don't. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a problem, because you're not going to go so far in life. You may because of your daddy's money or daddy, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not really doing for you as a person. And that's what I look for, is like people who I fuck with, like people who are like, I can see like you're a good person, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I wouldn't necessarily rock with a lot of the people here, because they're not really good people. Whether they have money or not, they're not good people. And because, you know what I mean? And it's true, because some of these guys, they're so conceited and misguided by the things that they've been given, that they don't understand the real values of why they even been given that stuff. You're given that stuff. I feel like everyone who has an opportunity to do better, who's given wealth, should always try to do better in some way, or whatever you can possibly fathom that you think will be better, is you should attempt it. But some people don't even try to, because they just want to be consumed by them, and I feel like that's the problem. Those are the type of people I stay away from. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's how I kind of feel about that.
Do you know, like I've got this, idea, and it must be a crazy idea, bro. Like I every time, like I'm grateful to like God. I'm grateful to God, like because of my background. Like I most of the time I'm thinking, like if I was born like in a rich family, right, a wealthy family, bro, like I wouldn't know like how to appreciate, like like anything good that I get.
It's a bit of both.
I'm not trying to say people should be born poor, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I wish the whole world, I wish everyone had, you know what I mean,
four pockets full, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, what I'm saying is, like, every good thing that happens to me, right?
You appreciate it. You're great,
do you know, because there was a time when I couldn't afford, that kind of stuff. So even if it's like a nice like shoe or like a gift from a friend,
thank you.
New phone and stuff, I'll be like so thankful, because and I also understand there are people who are of my age who are better than me, but they're still in the same position I used to be, and they haven't got access to these things, right? So it's not like it's not me saying like oh man, I'm all good now and stuff. No. But like everything that happens to me, I'm so appreciative, right? 100%. So I'm thinking like man, this and this is my friends sometimes say like I look down on rich people. That's not true. I don't look down on rich people, bro, but I'm always thinking I'm in a position where like everything I'm really kind of like I'm surprised, like everything that happens to me. So I'm thinking like, oh man, how can you be there not having a chance to experience these things, right? Like these, like, like man, like if you've got everything, right? Like, if somebody bought you a car, it won't really mean that much, bro. You know what I mean? Like
it's a bit of both. You know why I feel like that? Because like I believe every single thing is how you're raised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because nah, bro, like you wouldn't believe it. I know some rich people, like like Rolls Royce. I know mans who have Rolls Royces, like their parents have that, and they're the most genuine people ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're the nicest people ever. But you can really, when you talk to them, you can really understand it's like they're like that because of how they were raised and who their parents allowed them to surround themselves with. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. I feel like, bro, I know I'm gonna get rich. I know I'm gonna get $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you do.
You know what I mean? Amen, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's one of those where it's like, I know for a fact that I'm gonna still raise my kids properly.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna still teach them the values of being a great human being, a great person.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it really is, bro.
Absolutely.
These guys are shitty people, bro. No, fuck the money, fuck all that shit. Deep down, they're not good people. And I feel like when you're not a good person, the money just it amplifies that, or you know what I mean? It amplifies that. That's the word. It amplifies.
I'll tell you what,
I mean?
bro. Like I think like there's some truth to what you just said. Like, I do believe like there's so many like there's so many good good rich people like in the world. You know what I mean? Like and the reason why I say
fraction,
that,
but like I know what you mean.
Part of the reason why I say that is because I'm I run a charity organization, right?
That's it.
That we started. Like, Nico, now I think I've told you about it.
No, you did. You went back.
Yeah, absolutely. To Burundi.
Yeah, but that was beautiful. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So we run this kind of stuff. So when you're like in that
environment,
civil society environment, bro, like you get exposed to people who are really, really good people, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you you've got like these preconceived ideas, like, about rich people, about, wealthy people 100%. And stuff. Yeah. And you're like, oh man, this might not really be the case all the time.
Bro. No, 100%, bro.
Yeah. You come across people who, sometimes people don't really give you money, but they will encourage you and stuff. Yeah. So one time I woke up and, cause that's like my routine. I wake up, read my emails and stuff. So I went through the charities email and there's a guy, I don't know whether it's a man or a woman, but they wrote a very like beautiful email, like trying to like encourage us. Like they seen what we're like. I think they been to the to our website and stuff, and they saw the stuff that we haven't even done that much, right?
Yeah,
but this person took their time, like wrote like a 2-page, like long,
beautiful,
beautiful, like encouraging us. They're like, I seen your work, like you guys carry on doing that. I was. Bro, like my heart was melting that day, right? So I'm thinking that, there are good people
100%.
in the world. Yeah, there
100%.
are good people. It doesn't really matter where they're from, what race they are, and, how much money they got in their account. They are good people, right? But they're also really, really, annoying people.
Yeah, of course. It's the way she goes. It's the way it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. So when you came here, like in 2019, right? 2019?
Not even. I think, when did I come here? 2021. I've only been here for this is my second year. Yeah.
No, bro, you've been here for a long time, man. Well, you came 2021.
Yeah, I've been here like 2 years.
You're joking?
Yeah, I swear I met you like.
Okay, so when I met you,
it was like 2021.
21.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's such a long.
It is long. It's like 2 years.
Yeah. So anyway, when you came in, like, what was the most like challenging situation, other than like the culture, because it's a different culture.
I feel like challenging. How to describe it? I feel like it was just finding my own grounding. I would say, because like that's what it is.
What do you mean like by that
grounding? Because like when you're comfortable in the people you're around or the people you know. Like for example, if I'm in Toronto, I know what Toronto people are going to be like. If I went to Windsor, Canada, Ontario, Canada, it's like 3 hours away from Toronto. That's why I went to university, right?
All right.
Those people, like, what type of people they're going to be like. So it's not anything like, I feel like when I came here, I didn't really understand how the people were, how life was, the culture shock. But then at the same time, it's like, I was not necessarily figuring out who I am, but it's like, you have to figure out, I feel like, you have to figure out who you are as in wherever you go. I feel like I was so used to just being who I was there that I didn't really know who I was like internationally. And the reason why I say is like when you come here, it's like it's not like you're changing who you are, but it's like you have to really figure out your ideas and your morals and what you believe in, what you stand on a global setting, because the global standards may be different.
Absolutely,
the global level of understanding may be different. So everything is just kind of different in its own way. So I feel like just coming here, I really have to be like, who am I? Like, what do I really want for my life? What do I want to be like? what am I really like striving for? Even like what type of person am I, and what type of person do I want to become? And I feel like that took me a while to really like figure out. And I feel like after I figured that out, it really like solidified me and helped me be able to grow more and just further myself, even just and feel more comfortable being here. Because I'm not gonna lie, at first it was weird, bro.
Absolutely,
like it was so weird. I'm like, what the fuck is this place?
Same when I came
country?
in 2019.
I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, all these guys are weird. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like after a while, it takes you. It's not even like you're footing and just living your like a life or like growing and continuing your life, but it's also like, who am I? What am I doing with myself here? Like,
did you like the food though?
Oh, the food's trash. Yo, food's trash. Yo, bro, the food's trash.
Would you eat Nigerian food at home?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I make like Nigerian food. I'm like Nigerian, but I need multicultural food. I'll eat food for anywhere. But like British, bro, what do these guys have? Like fish and chips?
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, so
like anything else is like, bro, what does this taste like? I don't even, or there's no taste. You know what I mean? Like, yo, British people, I don't know if they have taste buds.
No,
you know
bro,
what I mean?
like, the thing is, when you're used to, I don't know whether it's just like when you're used to like African food, it's so hard, like, to find other people's food,
appealing.
Nice, appealing, I mean, it's nice, but I feel like you would never choose it over your food. It's very difficult because like, bro, like I can be here and spend like like months, like without going to London, and and I'm like, my heart is like what are you doing? Like, you need to eat some Ugandan food, like right now. It's something that I really, really miss. Like, I could be hungry, but then I think about the kind of food I'm gonna eat. Like,
it doesn't hit the same.
I'm like, no.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I even have to get better with my cooking. What do I like? Because bro, I was starving. Like, because for example, so like first year I lived on a res, Holland Hall. So they had catering. So I was eating the food that was here. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That shit had me fucked up. Like, these guys oh my goodness. It's like,
do you know, like, somebody told me you guys eat on time, and like, I mean,
bro, it's so peak, bro. So like, breakfast is like 7 to like 8 or something. So like,
you must have missed that. Like,
bro, you know how many times I missed breakfast, bro? I would starve, and then it's like lunch. It's like, nah, it's not even lunch, bro. It's like dinner. So they don't even have lunch. It goes from like breakfast.
Oh, okay, so it's breakfast and dinner.
Breakfast and dinner, yeah, bro.
Well, dinner's like what time? Like 5?
Nah, dinner's like 6:30 to like 7 or some shit. It's hella early, bro. And me, I don't sleep.
Yeah,
like, I'm an insomniac, so like that's like, it's like not even food because I only eat food till mad later. So by the time it's like actually like 9-10, I'm starving. You know what I mean? And the food is British food. No disrespect to the cooks or none of that, but it's like, bro, like the food.
Do you guys like choose what they?
Nah, so it's kind of like, how to describe it. It's kind of like a cafeteria type flex, where they just make whatever's on the menu for the day. Yeah, like you just go and you grab a tray and just you know what I mean. So some days I'm like, oh, the food's blessed, but then like most days it's trash, it's like, and I'm starving. And no disrespect to my white people, it's like the food has like no taste, bro. So I'm eating this shit. And I'm like, okay, bro. I take a few bites.
You should ask them to like to like treat you one time, like get like a Nigerian food and stuff. Get them to cook you like.
They probably couldn't even cook it, bro. Bro, I would not want that. I would not eat that.
Bro, you need to come to my church, man. Like they we've got like an international like Sunday where like people get to like bring their own food, their own food and stuff. Goals.
Bro, I haven't had. That's probably the reason why even I miss. Like, shout out my mom, bro. Yeah, I go home like, but I don't complain. Like, I feel like even coming here has made me like so much more grateful.
What's your favorite
Nigerian food?
Yeah,
bro, I'm kind of basic. Like, sometimes I like the fufu with the agusi or the foriro or. Low key, if I'm just jollof fry, if I'm just like want a food, like for example, like jollof rice,
That's
crib,
like the famous one.
Yeah,
right?
bro. Yo, jollof rice in my crib doesn't last.
Famous, popular. Everyone likes that.
It does not. It's so popular. Like, it doesn't last in my house. Like, how many? My older sister, me, and my younger sister, my little bro. Bro, if you have food in the house, it's not lasting. Like, actually, like jollof rice, that's just gone. Like, if my mom makes like a whole pot, you'll be surprised,
like,
bro.
what,
Like, a whole pot is gone in like a day and a half, 2 days. Like, we'll come back, we'll be like, yo, where'd it go? Like, but it's because that's just everyone loves it. You know what I mean? That's one of those where, like, I can eat it any time of day. Like, the only time I'll eat it like 3 meals, and like probably like I can eat jollof rice.
Yeah.
Like, let's say it's like Wednesday. My mom made jollof rice on Wednesday. I can eat that. That'll be the only thing I've eaten for every single meal. I'm not even talking breakfast. Breakfast, lunch, dinner until like Friday, Saturday. I'll get tired of it for like 1 day and it's like finished. And like in a day or 2 days, I can do it again and not feel anyways. But that's one of the only foods. That's a rarity. Yeah. Like I'll eat it for like there's no other food that I could probably be like, yo, I'll eat rice. I don't even eat rice in the morning. I cannot eat rice. I'm like an eggs person. Like I need that in my morning. You know what I mean? But I could still eat like jollof rice.
In the morning?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's jollof rice, bro. Nah, I'm a savage. Toss some meat, toss some even a fried egg on that. Jollof rice slaps.
I'm not like I don't eat like nothing in the morning.
Oh, you don't eat anything?
Yeah, I hate it. Like my
stomach. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I know what you mean. I feel like even when I wake up in the morning, I don't eat for like a few hours.
Yeah.
Like I'll be up to like maybe like 3-4 hours. Yeah, 11, 12. Yeah. But still, even then, even no matter what time it is, when I first wake up, I'll eat like eggs or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Because that's just like I feel like it's a habit. Like I'll be like, oh, that's the first thing, and I'm like, okay, now I can start.
Maybe a banana. That's
I'm crazy enough. I do not like bananas.
Yeah, you don't.
That's so weird.
I mean,
it's one of the only fruits that I guess it's a fruit that I don't.
No,
like.
the thing is, like I could say the same thing, you know, as you. Like I don't really like bananas. Like I love mangoes. I love
mangoes.
Other fruits and stuff. But bananas. I like them in cereals. But also like if you know, when I wake up and I'm like hungry in the morning,
it's a quick snack.
No,
exactly. It's a proper snack.
Just because it's soft and that's it. Yeah, it's not like
I do the same thing with like the tangerines or the mangoes. Like I'll just force myself the tangerines or the oranges because I know it's like it's something to get in your stomach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I know I don't really I gotta eat because if not I'm gonna be sick. And Trust me, I feel you.
I see. Yeah. So I mean, bro, like Exeter is you know, is a beautiful place. Like
beautiful
you know,
place.
If you ask me, it
is a beautiful place though. I love the scenery. I love the hills and the water.
It's great, It's beautiful. Very small. You know, still beautiful.
Yeah, it is still beautiful. I won't lie.
Let's talk about your music, bro.
Oh, respects, bro. Bro.
Music.
Music's kind of crazy.
Yeah, how's it going?
Music's kind of crazy. I feel like I'm finally dropping. So music, I feel like my music journey's been kind of crazy. So I've made music since I was like in high school. You know what I mean? But like early days, I was
done it for a long time.
But like early days, in my opinion, I was trash. It takes a while. So like,
who else does it? I mean, where'd you get it? By the way, to start you off, where'd you get your talent, inspiration?
I feel like it's crazy. A lot of people say, bro, I'm not gonna lie, music's one of the only things I've known since I was like a kid. I always wanted to make music, and I feel like I like music because music's like one of the only things that, like, let's say I play a song right now, like both of us will get like a different feeling from it or perspective from it, but we'll still appreciate it and it'll still move us. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've always been one of those people. I've always wanted to do things where I could move people. And I knew if I make some music, I could move people. You know what I mean? And move hearts. And always a lot of provoke. So like when I listen to music or like other people's music, it always makes me feel better with life. And I feel like that's always been a goal of mine to be like, I can make people feel better through my music. You know what I mean? And inspire people. And that's why I've always wanted to do music. And it's only until like a few years ago where I actually started taking it seriously. I used to do it heavily in like 2017, 2018. And then like I fell off for some reasons we're not going to talk about. Anyway. So that came back as like COVID time where it's like one of my boys, he started like bringing me to the studio more often. And I was like, yo, bro.
What, the same studio you were
No, even before, like probably like a year. So like COVID 2020, like the year before I actually came here, one of my boys, so like during COVID, my boy always used to like bring me to studios or wherever we'd go. And he'd always like force me and push me. So I kind of got back into it and I rediscovered like the love for it. You know what I mean? And then this year, so I've been dropping little by little, but this year, like maybe like a month and a bit ago, I dropped like my first tape in like a while called Waev. Like I call it Waev because like I feel like everyone's got their like Sith in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like my Sith version of me. Like I have to, you know what I mean? I was like a Sith Lord in my own realm type of shit. You know?
So what would you say is the like the biggest challenge? Like, you know, when you're like, you know, coming up. You know, in the industry, like, I mean, people call like, you know, young artists upcoming, but I hate calling them upcoming. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, when you're like, you know, rising, you're doing your thing, in, you know, in the initial stages. Like, what do you think is the most like, you know, challenging thing? Because I would say, like, if you ask me, I would say like you know, I would be on so much pressure, like, you know, because the problem with me is like, whenever I do something, I tend to see it all the way till like, you know, till what I want it to be. Do you know what I mean? So if I wanted to build a house, I'll have like a whole picture of the house in my head, right? Not like the foundation. No, like the entire thing.
And you wouldn't be able to stop.
Absolutely. So so I'm thinking, how am I gonna do this? So I'm, you know, that pressure, because I'm like looking at the whole thing. So if I was in music, I would, you know, be looking at myself, like, you know, hitting stages, like, do you know what I mean? Like in stadiums and stuff. No, so that cool, pressure, bro.
This pressure is crazy. I feel like it's like, you have to really find the drive within yourself, because as an up-and-coming artist, like, for example, the reason why I say this is because, like, so when I talk about me making music, it's 2017, 2018. Like, I feel like I've had, like, waves of music. For 2018, I had my hype. People are fucking with me. There's so many people who like disappear when you're not making music anymore, and you're not. So it's like, I feel like now I'm trying to momentum. It's like, I feel like you gotta, one, never stop making music. I feel like you always gotta continue making music, because you really have to find the love for it within yourself. And then the second is like, you gotta really do everything you can to maximize like your growth as like an audience. So like, what I recently try to do is what I've been hating myself and dreading myself, and I never wanted to do it. I was like, yo, fuck TikTok, fuck it. But I started doing the whole TikTok, but it's like, I have to, if you really want something, you have to find every single way that you can gain exposure and like do it, even if you look shady, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Just so you can kind of find something within yourself to grow, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of with like the music and the TikTok is like, what I've been doing with TikTok is like, I've been doing trying to like snippets to my songs that have been released, but same way it's like, I feel like I've been trying to like, even my unreleased songs, because I feel like before I used to keep unreleased songs for like 2 years and then finally drop them. But sometimes I'm like, nah, bro, that's too long. Like, you gotta find that motion within yourself. Like, yo, keep making new music, keep trying to promote the new music, even keep trying to give them snippets, and you know what I mean? Do something, because the more you're out there pushing yourself for the music, the more you'll see reward back. You know what I mean? And then slowly you'll start to see like attention from it. And I feel like music's kind of hard, because the more you grow, you really got to determine like, oh, do people really fuck with certain type of music, or like what do people rock with, you know? So like, the more you put out music, the more you're gonna get feedback. So the more you can take that and become better. You know those ones. So
what kind of message are you trying to send? Because the reason I ask this is, if you're a gospel artist, the message is always like, you know,
gospel,
absolutely gospel. It doesn't really matter what you're singing about. It has to be, you know, the end goal is somebody feels good about themselves, somebody follows Jesus, somebody, you know, what is your message that you're trying to say?
My message is that I feel like I'm just trying to tell, I always try to be like, I'm trying to tell a story. I feel like I try to tell a story of my struggles, whether it be with my life, my personal life, my family, even like women. It's like everything I do, like the heartbreaks, everything. I feel like I just try to.
It's like a different aspects of life.
Aspects of life. I feel like I just try to take my own aspects of life and see how I can not only, I don't even necessarily try to go to be relatable, but I do try. But it's like at the same time, I try to be as honest and vulnerable with myself and these feelings, so that when I'm vulnerable and honest on a track, someone else can listen and be like, yo, this guy is like really, he's not trying to be fake about it. He's telling me that he's in pain or he's hurting and he's going through it. But like, he's still fighting. And that can be proven by the song he made, because that's like a point, and like he's trying to prove it to himself and to the world that like he's still fighting through these triumphs, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of how I feel with music. I always wanted to not be afraid to share how I felt in the music, and then like kind of give people the opportunity to feel some type of way when they listen, like, oh shit, he's going through that. Like, oh, he sounds cool on this track, or he sounds good. You know what I mean? It made me feel better. Maybe I could get out of that, or out of how I'm feeling, because I know he's pushing himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of inspiration. I feel like an inspiration. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Inspiration on what the things I've seen, the things I've gone through. It's like there's always a way out. Even if while I made that song, I may not have even seen that way out. You know what I mean? But me taking that stance to write the song and like produce it and put it out there, it's like, all right, cool. I'm taking a stance on how I felt and trying to move forward. And I always wanted to give people that opportunity to do so within their own lives. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you get feedback from the people who've been listening?
Yeah, I try to. It's crazy. I feel like that's kind of like the old thing. Like at first when I was coming up, my music was trash, so no one really listened to it. So sorry, but like they gave me honest feedback and it helped. So after a while, it's like now when I post my stuff,
that's the best thing.
You know what I mean?
Feedback
it is like
best,
it is the best thing because now when I post my stuff, most of my boys like, or most of the people like around me, or like even in my vicinity, who've heard my music, they rock with it, and that kind of gives me hope because I'm like, oh, I'm finally in a position where people are like rocking with my music. And it's like, all right, cool. They most of the time when people talk about my music, they just tell me to go harder. They just tell me to keep going, and I kind of need that myself too. Because sometimes when you're like, bro, I'll be in the studio like probably like 12 like midnight to like 12 p.m. the next day. Like I'm running like I can sit in the studio for hours by myself sometimes, and it's like sometimes when you're in that, you kind of get lost in it. You know what I mean? And you're like, damn, I'm just making this music. When am I gonna see the fruition or the fruits of my labor? You know what I mean? And sometimes like. It's best to not really focus on that, but to focus on the impact that you're slowly making. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of see it. Cause, it's hard sometimes. You know.
Absolutely, it is hard. Yeah, music is hard. Yeah. Or like any other,
anything, bro. Trust me. Yeah, anything. Yeah. It takes determination and like the willingness to want to see it through and to want to be like the best in your respective field. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think as much as we say it's hard, do you think it's easier than it used to be before internet took over and stuff?
Yeah, bro. Like for example, I love Wu-Tang Clan. Shout out Wu-Tang's for the children. Like they have it's like a show, but I feel like it's kind of in a sense also a documentary on like Disney Plus, right? And it shows their come up and like these guys had to go to radio stations, call the radio stations themselves to get to play the tracks. You know what I mean? They had to go out there to get the record deals. People weren't even giving hip hop artists record deals. You know what I mean? Like early on in like the late 90s, even in the late 80s, no one was giving our hip hop artists record deals until like really made a name for herself. And now, like, for example, I was talking about TikTok and like Instagram. Like now, bro, I could post a TikTok of myself and random people around the world are liking my shit. You know what I mean? And that shows me it's like, all right, cool. I just got to be consistent with it. And I can grow that audience. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what it is. It's like the internet is so, we really have to take advantage. Some people don't want to take advantage of the things they have. And that's really the problem. Me, I see the internet, I'm like, nah, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse. But you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you got to take those blessings and run with them. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel. It's definitely a lot easier.
Do you know, like, I mean, imagine, like, somebody, like you said, had to, like, take the record, like, to the radio station and ask them to, do you know what I mean? And then, somebody, like, hoping the audience, that the target audience will also be tuned in to that station if they ever get to play it. But now, like, you put it out, on your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and there's hundreds and hundreds, if not millions of people, who are likely to watch your thing. So I think it is, easier to get your message across. I mean, different thing between being able to get your message across and also getting people to receive your message and love it. You know what I mean? So
some people can get it out there, but it's not gonna be loved. It's not gonna be received properly. So it's like you have to have a combination of both. Having the drive and determination to make your stuff better. So like when people do hear it, they'll like it and actually gravitate towards it instead of gravitating away. And that's why feedback is important. Getting some time with your audience and like chat to them and stuff. I've seen, I think artists do that, like they show up on their pages, like, like
start
the lives
talking
and
to
start
people.
talking. It really makes a difference because even the fans, they appreciate the one-on-one because you're more communicative with these people.
We need to wrap up. What do you think your success will be like? What do you think, like what level would you say, oh, now I'm successful in music?
Music?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, me personally, I'm trying to get to the point where like,
win a Grammy or what? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get to the point where like, I'm trying to do like arena tours globally. I'm trying to do like a world tour. Once I can do a world tour, like I'm talking like USA, Canada, I'm talking UK, Europe, and Uganda. Africa. Don't trust me. Africa,
come to Uganda fast, bro.
Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Africa, Asia, let's not forget Australia and New Zealand. And to the point where I win a Grammy. After that, I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I can do 2 world tours at that stage, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna keep it a stack. But then I'm not just gonna retire and fade away like Kendrick. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna be like a J. Cole or even like a Drake, or it's like I'm gonna try and influence the next generation.
Absolutely,
because that's what it's about.
That was
you know what I mean?
My second
that's
question.
What it. Trust me, bro. Like I'm trying to become like a Dreamville or even like a Bad Boy or you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be where it's like. All right, cool. He built this. Like, for example, I have my own, like, if any of the music I post, like, it's called World Waves, like, World Wave Records. Like, we're just trying to take the world on a wave, you know what I mean? And bring them on a journey with us and have them experience us, you know what I mean? And I feel like once I'm able to do that, then it's like, all right, cool, I'm good. You know what I mean? I've done everything I've done in the music where it's like, won the Grammys, done the arena tours, and then be able to put on other artists. And because like, it's the same way as like, I have this dream. I always wanted someone to look at me. Like, I wish someone would find me and be like, yo, I see that in you. I want to invest in you. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I always wanted that, why can't I do that for the world and do that for the next gen? You know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
Do you ever sit there and go like, oh man, I wish so-and-so like knew what I've got in here.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like it's like they're never gonna know what's in you unless you show them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how me. It's like that's why I keep going because I'm like, yo, that's why I even try to gain exposure and do whatever I can because I'm like, yo, my favorite artists see this and want to sign me. And that's all I need. You know what I mean? But it's like they won't ever see me unless I put in the work and get out there. You know what I mean? And that's what it's really about. You got to be like willing to be determined in your own lane to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, bro. Look, man. I really hope and I pray that stuff work for you, bro.
Amen. Appreciate
keep
that,
going,
bro.
keep doing your thing, man. And as long as we're still here in Exeter, we're bound to catch up again. You know what I mean? Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming to A Solution. A Solution is it's created for this kind of stuff, reaching out to young people, have a conversation with them. And see, what they've got to say. Thank you, whoever's watching.
All right, love.
All right, thank you guys. See you next time.